Hey, welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome to. I will try, no, I haven't been able to do the intro for this video for a little bit because it's been around the holidays, but specifically because it is around the holidays. And I grew up in a Cuban household, and it's very traditional for New Year's Eve that you have roast pork and black beans with rice. Actually, it's also, they call them moros y cristiano. It's how they do them, but I didn't make them in that style. I just made black beans. Now, they're very intimidating because I would think some people find them intimidating. If you're using dry beans, you got to soak them overnight, and then you got to pull out little rocks out of them and everything. But like, for example, my mom, being a working mom, a lot of times she just took the shortcut of using canned beans, and they come out delicious. I do that too because, hey, I'm a working mom and grandma. For really, especially at this time of year, with everything going on with COVID, with lockdowns and everything else, if you happen to have stored away, and I hope you did, you store away also cans of things. And beans are pretty much a staple, and they're healthy for you. They got a lot of fiber. And I'm going to show you how to take the canned beans straight out of your pantry and how to dress them up Cuban style. And it's really not that hard, and they really are delicious over rice. And like I said, at this time of year, although we eat them all the time. So with no further ado, without too much intro, here are Cuban black beans. So we're going to start with our ingredients, which we're going to put into our Cuban black beans. And over here I have a little bit of garlic, minced garlic. You can use the actual garlic if you want. It's probably about 3 or 4 cloves. I add a little bit more if I'm a garlicky person. Back there, no, you're not putting sour cream. I recycle stuff. I repurpose, and that is actually for my chicken stock. I got about more or less like a cup of chicken stock there. I might not use it all. I might add a little bit more. I'll let you know as I'm making it. There's some salt and pepper, diced green pepper, bell pepper, onions. That's like a whole little onion that I had. That is extra virgin olive oil, which we're going to use too. Now, here's the can of black beans. It's going to make roughly about 4 to 6 servings, depending on how much you use, or how much you eat, rather. I like to use Bush's. You can use anything Great Value that you like, whatever. You can use white vinegar. I have used the apple cider because I kind of like that little taste that the apple cider gives it. It's a little sweet. Also, it has good properties to it, so I don't mind putting it in there. Oregano, bay leaves. Here is cumin. I don't know if you could see. That's my little body of cumin. I'm going to use about half of that little tomato paste, okay? And let's not forget some cilantro. I'm pretty sure my mom didn't use cilantro, but I like the taste of cilantro, and so I add it. So we're ready to go. Let's start making our black beans. Start off now with our pot. I like a stainless steel that has a cover. Make sure it's got a little cover. 1 or 2 tablespoons, maybe a little less than that, of olive oil. To that, you're going to let that get warm, nice and hot. Okay, and then we're going to add our onions. You can hear them starting. I love that sound, and I love the smell. And green beans, and green beans, listen to me. Green pepper, okay? Give that baby a stir. We're gonna let both of them get, well, the peppers no, but the onions, you're gonna let them get translucent. Sometimes I add a little bit more of the olive oil. Gives it a nice flavor anyway. Let that cook. Those vegetables look really nice. Now I know some people make their sofrito ahead of time. My mom always made it like this, pretty much just adding everything. So we're adding it now. And here is first again, I might add a little bit more because you can taste it to see how you like. But that is your garlic, which again, it's about maybe about 3 cloves or so. You could add a little more. I like garlic in it too. Tastes good. Garlic makes everything taste good. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to add is, oh, great! It fell right in. That is about half the can. I think I took a little bit more than that. Half the can of the tomato paste. Just to help break that up, I'm going to add now the stock. I'm pretty sure my mom didn't add stock, but I do. I like to add it. Stir that up. And that this is about medium heat. I'm going to now add, I'm going to add the whole can of black beans. Stir that up nice. Now you're going to actually start with your seasonings. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and I kind of eyeball this, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to add cumin, and I guess you would say maybe about, like a teaspoon or so of cumin. Okay, you can add more to taste. I'm going to add oregano. Looks great. Here is cilantro. I'm kind of generous with the cilantro. Probably not a teaspoon, probably a little less than a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, maybe like a teaspoon. Of your salt. I'm going to just stir up all the ingredients because you got a lot of seasonings in there, okay? So I'm going to kind of give that a nice stir. Of course, let's not forget nice bay leaf, which will sit there for a little bit. Now this next ingredient, which you're going to go easy with, okay? Because you can go a little too acidic with it. And some people add sugar, I've heard. I don't add sugar. But I'm going to add probably about not a tablespoon, like maybe a teaspoon of the vinegar. You just want a little bit to give it flavor, okay? That's smelling really nice. Maybe a little less than a teaspoon too. You can do also. Okay, depends how much acidic you'd like. I'm gonna cover that, and I'm gonna put that down to like a low simmer. Maybe about 20 minutes or so. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, every so often, just give it a little stir. See how it's doing. If by chance you might need a little, I wouldn't actually, I'd say this is a real good consistency from what I'm going to do in a little bit. So don't add any more of the stock, okay? You can omit the stock and use water instead, just to let you know. I don't think my mom, like I said, I don't think she used stock. I think my mom used a little bit of water just to make it a little bit saucier, okay? And you can also omit the vinegar, but I always loved it like that. My mom did too. So, and it's delicious like that. But if you really hate vinegar, you don't have to. Cover it and continue to cook it, okay? And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now about halfway through while they're cooking, and also turn it, make sure it's nice and low. You don't want to have your beans burned. And it might be that they cook a little bit faster too, so just keep an eye on them. But it's been like a few minutes now, so what I did was I took about a little less than half, or maybe about half of it, separated it into a bowl. And if you have you can use your blender, but I like my little hand mixer, my hand blender. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to immerse it. And it's hot, so just be careful not to splatter yourself. Okay? And you can let it cool too before you do that. And you're going to mix it. You're going to actually make a puree. There's vegetables in here too. Don't worry about that. That's okay. If you get little pieces, that's all right. And it doesn't take too long. You get a nice little puree. My mom used to do, actually sometimes she do all the beans like that, but I like to do part of them, okay? So I'm going to add this right back to the, I'm going to add this right back to the pot. And I'll let you see it in a second. I can tell you that this is going to take a little less to cook. I'm going to add the pureed beans right back in with the beans. You have a nice little puree. And it smells amazing. I'll let it go for just a few more minutes. I don't think it needs that much. Nice low, and nice low, and keeping an eye, stirring them. You could actually puree a little bit less. I pureed a little bit more. It's a nice, thick black beans, okay? We'll come back to it.